In this video, we will discuss about some of the behavioral phenotype of Cachexia. In the previous video, I have by mistakenly directly discussed figure 2, but today we will discuss the figure 1 where we will understand how the mice behaves in the condition in the case of this Cachexia. So in order to do this experiment, the layover is shown in the panel A, where we can see that the tumor is injected, and after that, after 18 to 28 days, or the tumors are observed which are in the pre-Cachexia conditions, that is minus 10 to minus 8 days before endpoint, and minus 2 to 0 days they are at complete Cachexia conditions. And when they check the different parameters, out of that they are able to see that the percentage weight goes down in the mice as the Cachexia conditions developed, and in the last 3 days they see a significant decrease in the weight, and thereafter they check some of the behavioral activities, and in terms of this reward based program, which is popularly known in this uh, behavioral phenotype types experiment. So in this case, the number of times the mice press this button, that number of times he will get the more that number of pellets he will earn for his food. So they did their experiment on the healthy mice and in the mice that are injected with tumors, and then they are able to see that the platelets earned goes down significantly for the conditions where mice is injected with the tumor, indicating that the tumors mice will develop Cachexia conditions with time, and they see a significant difference in the last 3 days. The decrease in the pellets and goes down significantly, and the maximum break point what they are able to find out is in the maximum break point is in the last 3 days, and here the decrease that is statistically significant is around like minus 5 or minus 6 days before the end of the experiment. And the maximum break point in this case, the maximum break point that they have observed is around in the last 3 days. And when they zoom in to this maximum break point, what they are able to see that there is a continuous ups and downs in the maximum break point between the control and the tumors, and because of that, because of this sinusoidal response, the difference is not statistically significant. And thereafter, what they did is they did this reward based water intake. In this case, mice can choose one of the holes to take the water intakes, and the program is designed in a way that if he wants like more amount of water, he needs to travel more holes. So in this case also, it has been observed that mice with the tumors, uh, the amount of percentage water intake in the mice with the tumors goes down as they reach at the end point of the experiments, and the number of trials that are completed is also goes down. The number of trials means the number of attempts, the number of times the mice completed this experiment completely is also goes down in the tumor cells and the mice that are infected with tumors and the control mice. And the percentage leaving means that when the mice had the water from the one port, then it will stay at that same place before moving to the other ports. So this percentage leaving is also goes down uh, in the case where mice is treated with the tumors. So in this experiment also, this water intake experiment also, they see the difference between the mice that are infected with tumors and the mice that are not infected with tumors. Now they wanted to do their experiment with this one person's through course. also. So this is the similar experiments that they did in panel C, but with the one process sucrose and use the water. So in this case, the preference for the sucrose or waters is not that statistically significant either for the pre-Cachexia conditions or the Cachexia conditions compared to the control. And when they check the freeze time in this kind of experiments where they check the mice freeze time, in this case also this is the immobilized time. So this is the freeze time, total freeze time in the panel K is about the total freeze time. In this case also they do not see a significant difference between the control mice and the Cachexia mice, and for the time for which these mice remain immobilized in the water, in this case also they do not see any significant difference. So because here there is no option available to the mice for survivals, that they have to move and come out of the this hurdles in both the cases. So whenever there is no other options available, then at that case they do not see any significant difference between the tumor mice and the control mice. But when there is options available, like in the amount of food that can be intake, amount of water that can be intake, the results shows that there is a lack of motivations in the tumor mice. That is because of the Cachexia development in them with the later stage of the tumors. So all this indicates the some of the behavioral phenotype that substantiate the formations or development of Cachexia in the mice that are injected with the tumors. That's all for this video. If you need to understand more about this experiments in detail, you can go through the reference that has been provided in the description. Thank you for your time.